Hey guys. So for this week, I finished up the buttons here on my inventory display, and let's see, we got ho ho. So before I made it so you could drop certain items, and they're on the ground there. You could pick them back up. Then I did the consumable. So after you use some, let's say, energy, you could use. So this one restores energy. This one will restore it. And then I had some equipment that you could equip to the player. You could see that there. And then this week I focused on being able to take tools and weapons from your inventory and have this action slot button be active if it is a tool or weapon that's selected. So if it's a consumable, it can also be put to the action slot. Um, but for like materials and things like that, you wouldn't be able to equip it because there would be no reason for it. So you can see here you have a hoe. So click the action button and it gets dropped there. Go to the pickaxe, same thing. And then this is an empty spot here. And that's where the sword, well, that got moved there. I forgot about that spot. And that gets moved there. So now we have sword here, and then I could also take it and let's say drag these back to the slots. And then if I want to add them back, action. All right, so I got that done. Real quick, I'll just go into the scripts so I could show you guys what I did here. All right, so starting with the inventory class. So I have this inventory class, and this contains methods for each of the buttons that I made previously. So I had like the equip item here and all the code that goes into that, drop item, and use item, which was last week. And then this week we did move to item to action bar. So this is pretty much checking first to see if there's an active inventory slot that's selected. If that slot has an item and it's a weapon or a tool, then it's going to get the available action slot from the action slots manager, which is here. And this method here, it gets called, and it goes through each of the slot scripts I have in the five action slots. Actually 10 now, so I'll drag this over here. So there's the 10 action slots which you see here. You have the 5 left and then 5 right. So it goes through them, and then if the action slot script doesn't have an item or a spell in it, it means that the slot is empty, and that becomes the empty action slot script that passes back to the inventory class. So if it has one, then it's going to take the empty action slot, and that's what it's going to use. It's going to take the item and the quantity from the inventory slot and add it to the action slot, and then it's going to update the action slot's UI, and then it's going to take that same inventory slot, make the item null, the quantity to 0. So pretty much it's taking the item and quantity from the inventory slot, adding it to the action slot, and then here it's going to update the UI because there's going to be no item in there anymore. And then it's going to deactivate the slot, so there's no more selected inventory slot. So that is all for this week. I'm going to take a little break from the inventory UI for now because I did a bunch for the past few weeks, and everything's working pretty well. One of the focuses that I haven't touched on in a while that I want to focus on again is these I forgot the crouch button now. There, control. Let's see if I remember. Control. So, oh, he's running away. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing more on the animal side of things, where you could be able to. First, I had you could tame animals, but I also wanted to add so you could buy animals from certain NPCs. As so far, I have like chickens and cows, and then be able to create different methods within the animal stats and animal movement classes to be able to increase your bond and increase certain stats with your animals, so that the higher the bond, the higher the happiness, the better produce they will create. And if you leave them out, let's say in the sun, they'll gain happiness. If you leave them out in the rain, the opposite. And then same thing if you're talking to them and brushing them, you'll gain bond with them and happiness, and they'll be able to produce better produce, higher quality. And if not, then they'll either get sick or they won't be able to produce anything. So those are just my initial thoughts. I mapped a lot of it out in the in draw.io and also my Word doc. But for now, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below, and thanks for watching.